Hey, y'all, I'm John King. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so this now that Diesel opened it up, I gotta conclude the story. We were we've been touring since we were in high school, and I went to school at University of Georgia. Yeah, come on, maybe a couple, two, one. Hey, I'll take it. Well, probably some. Did you? All right, thank you. I feel so at home right here. Probably a lot of Tar Heels fans, maybe some NC State in here. No, not really. Maybe a couple. Clemson or something, or Bama, or nah. Yeah, thank God. Thank God. Tennessee fan. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so as a Tennessee fan, you're like us. It's being a Tennessee fan is the equivalent of being a Falcons fan. You know? And Arkansas, yeah, you know, it's a lifetime of pain and misery, but you just love them through it, and that's part of being a true fan. We were playing a show on Thursday night in Athens. We were, I think I was a freshman at Georgia. Andrew was still in high school. This is my little brother, by the way. Also my baby brother, Andrew. Yeah, get it for Andrew. He's been playing drums with me since he was 12. I don't know if I'm going to actually play any songs. I might just talk for like 3 hours. And anyways, we were playing this show, and we got done. Andrew had to be to class in the morning at Habersham Central High School. And I had finished my classes for the week, so we're riding. We had this 86 Suburban. I still have it. It was my first truck. And we would load all the gear in the back and the band in the front row bench seat, 4 dudes in a bench seat like this. Well, my bass player had like a half-eaten McDonald's bag behind me, and I was driving. Everybody was asleep next to me, and we literally... I mean, this is an 86 Suburban. This thing is like $190 to fill up, you know. This is in whatever, 2000 something. Yeah, exactly, 4 miles a gallon. So gas was all we could afford. And he just happened to have a quarter pounder that was half eaten in there, and I just reached back and just took it down, guys. I had to do it. That was the bottom of the barrel for me. Luckily, it's been better since then. I'm playing in this great studio with you guys today, so thanks for having me out here. I think this is the nicest studio I've ever played in, y'all, at a radio station. You should be so proud of this. This is amazing. I came here, I don't know if anyone was here, but one of my first radio stops was back in 2015, and gosh, it might have even been like late 2014. And I played in the hallway when you guys still had us set up in the hallway. And I knew when I pulled up I'd been here, but then I came in here, and this is just a 180. So you guys are killing it. Thanks for having us out here to Charlotte. I want to open this with the very first song that kind of started it all for me. And this was one of the first stations to ever play this song in the country. And it's called Tonight, Tonight. And it kind of got things going for me. So thank y'all again for having me out here today. Yeah. So we were kind of just goofing off in this amazing green room you guys have there, and we got to kind of listen to y'all talking through the door, and I thought, this seems like a fun crowd. Are y'all a fun crowd? You seem like you're really, like, energetic. It's, was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. It's almost Friday, y'all. I mean, we're right there. So we don't normally do this song, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to do. So I wrote this. The deal is, if I'm going to do this song, no one can leave. When I say the title, you can't get offended and leave. Deal? Do I have Scouts on it? You good? All right. The name of this song is Hooker Shoes. You good? Everybody good? Okay. I have had someone leave one time when I said that title. It's not about hookers, y'all. It could be about hookers. Yeah, it's about high heels. So my wife has got like 78 pairs of high heel shoes in her closet, and I just finally decided that one day I'm gonna write her a song about them. We spend so much money on them. I'm like, you know what? And the fact that y'all can walk in these things, ladies, you deserve your own song. So if you got a pair of high heels at home in the closet, here's your song. This one's called Hooker Shoes. Y'all ready to have some fun? Northeast Georgia. Has anybody ever heard of Habersham County, Georgia? What the heck? This is amazing. Y'all, I'm going to live here. I live here now. I'm moving here. This is the best station visit ever. I always get a lot of really blank looks when I say Habersham County, Georgia, but if you've ever been there, I mean, Charlotte is not too far. You know, we're probably 2.5 hours or so from there. And it's just, man, it's God's country. It's gorgeous. The mountains this time of year, the leaves. Of course, you guys are in North Carolina. You know all about that. But I was very blessed to grow up somewhere really beautiful. But when I was a kid, you know, like a lot of us do, I kind of wanted to get out of there because there wasn't anything to do at all. And I was like, kept breaking my arm and stuff, playing football and hands and legs. I was like, dude, I'm just not made for this. Like, there's not enough calcium in my bones or something. So I started playing guitar instead and singing. And we started little garage bands. I started touring and kind of building a little following in the Southeast. Charlotte, Greenville, just kind of hitting this little circuit, Athens, Atlanta. And, you know, before we knew it, we had a little following built. And I knew when I graduated Georgia that I had to get up to Nashville. I mean, as we all know, that's the home of country music. And it's funny, you know, when I got up there, I was interning. University of Georgia hooked me up with an internship. I was burning CDs at this little publishing house. And there were, you know, all these songwriters would come in every day. I remember seeing, like, Thomas Rhett coming in to write and Brett Eldridge and all these guys. And I was like, I don't know how, but I'm going to get there somehow. So the only thing I knew how to do was what we'd been doing for years. I just started playing every little bar downtown Broadway that I could find that would have me. And I was playing this residency. I would play every Tuesday and Wednesday at this place called Puckett's. I don't know if you guys ever been down to Nashville, but it's kind of like right across from where the Ryman is. It's like a really big spot there in downtown. So there's a lot of traffic. I was playing a Wednesday night, and I mean, keep in mind I'd come to town very green. Like, I didn't know. I'd written songs myself, by myself for years, but they were horrible, y'all. Like, these are the only songs I had. And I would go play this little 3-hour slot on Wednesday night. And when the bartender wasn't looking, I would, like, sneak in an original song, you know, in between, like, Garth Brooks and, you know, Eric Church or something that I was covering. And there was one night I was playing an original song. It was, like, kind of towards the end of the set. And there was this guy who's, like, really locked in. And it like, kind of back about where you're sitting. It was really low lit, tiny kind of little bar area. And he was focused, and I was like, man, this guy's, like, digging it. This is awesome. So I was kind of playing for this guy because everybody else was drinking and not really paying me a whole lot of attention on a Wednesday night. And I had this tip bucket in front of me that I was literally living off of, like I was interning. So I was living off this tip bucket, and it had, like, $20 in ones in it at the time. And I'm in the middle of this song, and I see this guy sitting back here. He gets up, goes to the tip bucket, and he drops a $100 bill in a tip bucket, which was awesome. That meant I could, like, eat maybe, you know, and not sleep in my car for the night. And that was cool enough, but as he got closer, I realized it was Randy Houser. And by that time, he probably had already had 2 or 3 number ones. And it was crazy, man, because I was, like, I was in the middle of a song. I wanted to be like, Randy, you know, I got this stack of demos this high. Like, take this, show it to your record label, you know. Get me famous, man. Help me, you know. But I was stuck. I was in the middle of a song. He drops a $100 bill in the tip bucket, and he walks out. And I was like, that was it. Like, he's gone. It was a good story from, you know, tell my friends, but that was it. So fast forward 2 years later, I'm writing this song with a couple buddies of mine, and I had a publishing deal at that time. It wasn't a great one, but it was a start, and I had a record deal, and I was, like, starting to get my name out there and kind of knew what I was doing a little. And I was writing a song one day, and it's just the weirdest song. When we got done with it, I was like, this song kind of sucks. Like, I don't think it's that good of a song. I didn't really know what to do with it. It's just really funky. And one of the co-writers was like, man, we should send this to Randy Houser. It's like, yeah, 1 in 30 million chances he's going to hear that. You know, this is Nashville. Like, there's so many great songs every day. So somehow, though, we sent this to Randy. He heard this. Like, by the grace of God, he heard this thing, put it out, and it became my first number 1 song as a songwriter. And to me, it was kind of like the launching point. It started it all, not only as a songwriter, but as an artist. It kind of gave me that first boost of confidence that I needed as a young singer-songwriter. And I was telling Randy that same story, and I was, like, a little emotional, you know, at the number 1 party. It was, like, right next door to where I used to play those cover gigs. And it was at Tootsie's, if you guys ever been to Tootsie's. And we're standing there backstage. We're about to go out and get our number 1 plaques. I'm telling Randy this. I'm like, dude, it meant a lot to me, you know, like, as a young artist to have that, for you to do that. And he was like, man, are you sure it was $100? I was like, yeah, it was 100. He's like, I must have had too much whiskey. I thought it was a 10. It's It's a crazy feeling, man, when you have somebody like that who you've looked up to your whole life, as an artist. I had this crazy situation happen. I was driving into town about 3 months ago, and I had a co-write with somebody I write with a lot in town, and my publisher, Sony, calls me like 30 minutes before I'm supposed to be at this write, and my buddy Dane, who is my publisher over there, he's like, "How would you like to write with Hootie and the Blowfish today?" I said, "Yes, I would like that a lot. That would be awesome." I thought it was like more of a hypothetical question. I didn't know he was serious. But he was. And so I had 30 minutes to get ready to go write with Hootie and the Blowfish, an act I had like grown up just in awe of. One of my first concerts was in Greenville, South Carolina. My mom took me to see Hootie and the Blowfish. And so I walk in, I had like this idea. I didn't know that they were even coming out with a new record. I didn't know that the band was back together. I was like in the dark about this. I didn't know the direction. So I walk in, and I had this idea that kind of felt like an old Allman Brothers song or something like this. And it was called Rollin'. And I wrote it with the band, and they liked it, and they put it out. And it became, the lead track on this new record they just put out. So it's like, it's crazy to me how, as a songwriter, as an artist, how like, when someone that big believes in something you do, man, it's just like it just opens up so many doors, especially in country music. When you have Thomas Rhett's and the FGLs and everybody, it's like you kind of start as a songwriter in a lot of ways, and it's like it kind of builds your brand as you go up. So I've been really lucky, man, to have some artists like that believe in my stuff. And people ask me a lot of times, they're like, "Man, how do you decide, what songs go to these artists? How do you decide which ones you keep?" And honestly, it's easier than you'd think. I feel like the songs kind of pick where they go themselves. I know that sounds kind of weird, but this song is one I wrote about 2.5 years ago, and I knew when I wrote this song that it was my song, and it's kind of always been there. When we talked about going back to country radio, which has always been my goal, was to be here at country radio, I was like, this is the song. And I think it's just because it's so true to me and my situation personally, and it just kind of rings true with fans. I wrote this song called Try Saying Goodbye. I wrote about my wife. We've been dating since we were 15 years old. We were high school sweethearts, the only girlfriend I've ever had. And we got a 1-year-old baby girl now. Her name's Scarlett. And we live on Bonnie Blue Lane, so it's kind of like real life Gone with the Wind. We didn't plan that, by the way. But it's crazy, man. Like, obviously between 15 and now, you go through a lot of different versions of you and growing pains. And I wrote this song. A lot of people hear this song and think it's a breakup song, which it can be, if that's the stamp that fans put on it. I like this song because you can do that with it. But for me, it's a stay together song. It's about those kind of points in a relationship where you get in an argument and maybe let pride get in the way a little, and about just like not having to say goodbye to the person you love because of something stupid like that. And I think we've all been there, and if we haven't, we will be. And that's why we've had so much reaction about this song, I think. It's just been crazy. I gave my number out to fans and told them to text me what they think about this song. And I think we're up to 15,000 texts so far about this song. And it's just been insane, the response. So this is my single. It's called Try Saying Goodbye. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me in here today. This is one of the best places I've ever played. No joke. This is amazing. Thank you, guys.